Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Do you know the richest woman in the world? As well as a fortune of more than $100 billion, the heir to the L'Oréal fortune enjoys the most priceless possession of the ultra-rich called Françoise Bettencourt. In a historic milestone, Françoise Bettencourt-Meyers, the 70-year-old heir to the L'Oréal beauty empire and the world's richest woman, is now also the first woman to amass a staggering $100 billion fortune. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, her wealth recently crossed this monumental mark, securing her position as the 12th richest individual globally. Françoise Bettencourt-Meyers, born in 1953, has become the richest woman in the world and the first to break through the $100 billion barrier. She lives in a modern two-story building with large windows, a relatively modest dwelling compared to her parents' mansion in St. James, Neuilly-sur-Seine. Her mother was the daughter of Eugène Schuller, who founded L'Oréal in 1909 after discovering an innovative hair dye. Her father, André Bettencourt, was a minister during Charles de Gaulle's presidency in the 1960s and 1970s. Françoise's childhood was not entirely happy, as she studied at the Marymount School with Anglo-Saxon nuns of the Sacré-Cœur in Neuilly. She was later withdrawn from school and homeschooled, as her parents feared she would be kidnapped for ransom. Bettencourt later studied at the Academy of Fine Arts, but decided to protect herself from ostentation. Françoise's introspective, shy nature clashed with Liliane, who was a social butterfly and addicted to haute couture. The mother-daughter relationship was tense since the moment Françoise reached adolescence. Liliane once declared that her daughter Françoise was heavy and slow, always one lap behind me. Years later, in L'Homme magazine, Françoise would speak kindly about their differences, saying that she never felt the slightest rivalry. Françoise has leaned more towards an intellectual than a social profile, finding her calling in classical music. She spends 3 hours a day playing one of the two grand pianos she has in her living room, a Yamaha and a Steinway. She is also a great reader, reading Clara Malraux's biography by Dominique Bonnat and supporting the Île-de-France Cochlear Implantation Institute since 2005. The shadow of her mother Liliane, who had hearing problems since she was little, falls on her path. Françoise Bettencourt-Meyers, the founder of L'Oréal, has always been close to her parents, particularly her mother. She claims that money drives her crazy and that she was never raised to worship money. Her parents taught her the differences between play and sincerity, right and wrong, and the importance of honesty and righteousness. Her fortune has not affected her personal relationships, and she maintains long-standing friendships with various celebrities and high society figures. Françoise was aware of the honesty of others and was aware of the potential for marriage based on money. At 19, she met Jean-Pierre Meyers, her future husband, who came from a wealthy family of French Jewish bankers and was the son of a L'Oréal manager. However, Jean-Pierre Meyers was not the husband her parents would have dreamed for her, especially because he was Jewish, the grandson of a rabbi murdered at Auschwitz. This reopened an old wound in the family's past, as Eugène Schuller, the founder of L'Oréal, had been investigated for Nazi collaboration after the war, and André Bettencourt himself had written anti-Semitic articles for a German-backed newspaper before switching sides and joining the resistance. Despite the challenges, Françoise decided to marry Jean-Pierre Meyers, who was part of the clan and became involved in the company at the request of her father. The couple had two sons, Jean-Victor, 1986, and Nicolas, 1988, both born at the Antoine Béclair Hospital in Clamart, a suburb 5 miles southwest of Paris. Françoise chose a French governess for them instead of a sophisticated English nurse, and they have been protected like jewels since their children were children. Françoise spent time and traveled with both her husband and her sons separately, teaching them about the outside world, culture, and art. Jean-Victor obtained a master's degree from a business school, while Nicolas studied communication. Both are now part of the company, and the Bettencourt-Meyers and their family own about 33% of the shares of L'Oréal. Françoise's relationship with her husband changed her view of others and, specifically, the Bible. She spent 10 years writing a book about the relationships between Catholic and Jewish religions and published a genealogy of Greek mythology. In 2007, a scandal akin to French Watergate disrupted family peace in France. Bettencourt-Meyers sued François-Marie Banier, a close friend of her mother, for abus de faiblesse, abuse of weakness. Banier, who had received over 1.3 billion euros in gifts, was 4 decades younger than her mother and had a close friendship with celebrities like Samuel Beckett, Kate Moss, Mick Jagger, and Princess Caroline of Monaco. He was known for his charm and manipulation, and a scandal involving politics and one of France's largest inheritances began. Liliane Myers declared her fight to protect her mother, and a butler recorded that Banier had been named the sole heir to her fortune. The scandal affected President Nicolas Sarkozy, who was accused of illegal financing. He was acquitted, but his Minister of Labour, Eric Woerth, had to resign. The trial lasted 10 years, and it was determined that Liliane suffered from dementia. She was placed under the control of her daughter and 2 grandchildren. Françoise, a 70-year-old L'Oréal heiress, has become one of the richest women in her country since the death of her mother at 94 in 2017. Since the end of 2023, she has become the first woman to accumulate a fortune of more than $100 billion, achieved when L'Oréal SA shares reached a record price. She is now the 11th richest person on the planet. Despite her wealth, Françoise prefers an anonymity-focused lifestyle. She wears a dark pantsuit and a chartouche around her neck, wearing discreet makeup and thick glasses. Her universe revolves around family, friends, music, literature, and cinema, such as Jacques Perrin's Oceans. She rarely attends society events and only attends large dinner parties related to her professional interests. She enjoys traveling, particularly Italy and the United States, and prefers the luxurious but quiet Megève over the elite Swiss resorts of Gstaad or Saint Moritz. As the French say, pour vivre heureux, vivons cash. In late December, she broke through the $100 billion threshold and became the first woman to ever amass so much wealth, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. In 2023, she added $28.6 billion, 26.1 billion euros, on top of the billions she already had. Though she was down to $96.2 billion on January 4, 2024, Bettencourt Meyers is still by far the richest woman in the world and the 13th richest person overall, according to Bloomberg calculations. Forbes, which also compiles a list of billionaires, ranks her 15th. However you do the math, she is among the few women to make either list. It takes money to make money. There is hardly a better example of this than the French billionaire Françoise Bettencourt Meyers. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to explore more about us in our channel.